Hello, in this section of the tutorial we're going to cover the topics of basically how to use the graphing function in your calculator to calculate the definite integral of a function. And so if you don't know what a definite integral is, why don't you just watch this anyway, and you'll probably learn a little calculus here. It'll be really easy for you. I promise you will understand it. And if you do know what a definite integral is and you're taking calculus, then this will be a really neat function that you can use in your calculator to help you out. First, we need to graph a function. So let's go ahead and pick something. I'm kind of tired of looking at that one. So let's pick something different. Let's go x cubed minus x, let's say, plus 2. X cubed minus x plus 2. And let's go to the standard zoom. So that's number 6. And it's going to plot this for us, so it's a nice little function. Now let's go ahead and zoom in a little bit onto the interesting area, Z-box, and let's go ahead up here and do that because I just want to, we can just do it here, but I think it's just more interesting if we just zoom in on the interesting portion of the graph. That's why I picked this graph, because it has a nice little curve associated with it. We'll go down and let's do something like that. We'll hit enter. And the graph is redrawn. It's nice and beautiful, and here it is. Now, what we want to do is we want to find the definite integral. And just as a quick review, what an integral is it's basically a way for you to use calculus to calculate the area, the surface area underneath this curve, between the line here, the curve that we have, between this and the x-axis. So it's really no different than in 5th or 6th grade when you learn how to take the area of a rectangle. That was basically a method that you learned to calculate the area of a rectangle or a circle or whatever by using a formula. Well, obviously this curve is a little more complicated than a circle or a square, so there's not a real easy way to do it with a simple equation. You have to use calculus if you want to find the area of this function between this function and the axis here. So you can use the tools of calculus, find the integral and evaluate it, and you get the answer, and the answer you get back is going to be, square meters, or so many, if this function is defined in terms of meters, or square centimeters or something, which would be the area under the curve. But there is a function in the calculate menu here. It's the very last one, and it's this squiggly s, which is the integral sign of f of x dx. So this is calculus speak, and basically what it means is you're going to calculate the area under this curve. So hit number 7. And the calculator is going to ask you what is the lower limit. So let's go ahead and trace along the graph, and in a minute we're going to type in values, but for right now let's just say, okay, we're going to integrate from here, let's say. So let's go ahead and hit the enter button, and now it's going to ask me what the upper limit is. So let's go over here, and let's say that all we were really trying to do was calculate the area here. Let me go ahead and hit enter. And you're going to see what's going to happen. It's going to shade the region here, and that's why I say it's really neat on this calculator to look at this, because you can see here's the graph and you're finding the area of this shaded region here. Literally, it's the same thing as if you got a ruler out and measured everything and you calculated the number of square inches or square centimeters or square meters or whatever it was, you would get a number. And in this case, it's telling you the number is 2.137. Could be square meters, depends on how your function's defined. But that is the area of this shaded region. And that's, for those of you who don't really know what calculus is, it's still really neat because you can understand that this is a surface area. Now the calculator is doing all of the hard work to figure out what that area is. In calculus, you learn how to take these functions and find what we call the integral of the function, and that allows you to calculate this area. But it's a great way to check your work. Now, in this particular example, let's go back and do it again, number 7. It's going to ask you for the lower limit again, but notice how it didn't erase the graph. So one thing you need to make sure you do after you do that is go into the draw menu to erase the graph. Here's the draw menu. And when I say erase the graph, I mean the shading remains. So let's take that draw menu here. And what you need to do is hit clear draw, which is number 1. So let's hit number 1. The shading will be erased and the graph will be redrawn. So now we're ready to do it again. Let's go back into the calculate menu. Let's go back to the integral down here. Now we use the trace functionality to get over here and hit our initial value and our final value, and we can do that again. Let's go ahead and hit this guy over here. We'll hit enter. So from this point, let's go over, way over here, let's say. and we'll hit enter again. And the calculator is going to find the surface area, and it's going to shade this nice region, and it's going to tell you this is 2.285. Could be square inches, whatever. Let's go back to the draw menu. Let's clear it by hitting number 1. And now let's do it one final time, and I'm going to show you something a little bit different. Let's go back to hit number 7. Now let's say you didn't want to trace, because when you do this tracing, you're kind of limited on the values of x that you're able to pick for your endpoints, because it's kind of jumping around in values based on the pixels here on your graph. But that's okay. It's asking you for your lower limit. And when it's asking you for your lower limit, it's asking you in terms of x. So let's do it from x is equal to, let's do it from 0. So let's put a 0 in here. So x is equal to 0. And my upper limit, let's do it to x is equal to 1, this is x is equal to 1 right here. So let me just type a 1 in. So it's telling me x is equal to 1 when I type it. And then the same thing's going to happen. It's going to shade here from x is equal to 0 to x is equal to 1 all the way up to my function. And it's going to calculate that surface area to be 1.75. So if you're doing those definite integrals, you're always going to have to specify a lower bound of x and an upper bound of x, and the integral function itself is always going to calculate the area from this value up to the axis like that. And so if you want to do the trace function to get a general idea, you can do that, but if you need to enter exact values, you can enter those as well. Now let's go and clear it, because I want to show you one more thing. So we'll go to clear draw. Let's take this equation out, stop working with that one, let's clear that. And let's do something that's symmetric, like let's do x cubed, just a nice simple x raised to the power of 3. Let's go back and graph it, and it looks like we have a pretty good guy here. But let's go ahead and zoom in and center it a little bit. Let's go Z box, and let's go way over here. Let's go something like this. We'll hit enter. And then we will go over here. Takes a little while sometimes to go ahead and scoot over there. But what I want to do is I want to really zoom in on this little region of the graph that's in there, because it's going to be really useful for us. Let's go down. Draw our box. Right below the axis like this. All right, I think that's just about good. So let's go ahead and hit enter, and it'll redraw the graph for us so we can see everything a little bit better. Okay, now this is x is equal to -1, and this is equal to x is equal to +1. So let's go into the calculate menu, and let's go and calculate the integral again. So we'll do 7. Now one thing I want to show you, this is something I'll teach you a little bit of calculus here. Let's do the lower limit from 0, and the upper limit let's do at x is equal to 1. And let's calculate the area here. The surface area here is 0.25, and it's shading from x is equal to 1 to x is equal to 0. So this surface area is 0.25. Now let's clear the graph, and let's go ahead and clear the graph. It's going to draw it again. Now let's go back into the calculate menu, and let's do the same thing again, number 7. Let's calculate the area over here from -1 to 0. So the lower limit is always farther to the left. So we're going to put -1 here. That's the lower limit of x. And the positive value of x, let's go ahead and put x is equal to 0, and let's see what happens. So it shades the value here, which is what you would expect, but the area that it returns is -0.25. So over here the area was +0.25. Over here the area is labeled as -0.25. Now you all know from using a ruler that you can really never have a negative area. A negative area really doesn't exist. But in calculus, when you have a curve that goes below the axis like this, the definition of the way the integral is set up to find this area, it's always going to return a negative number when you're below the axis like that. And that doesn't really mean it's some mystical area in the 10th dimension or anything crazy like that. It just means that it's below the axis. That's really all it is. It's basically opposite of the area up here because it's hanging below the axis. And it's the same exact value because this curve is symmetric. So let's clear it one last time. Hit number 1. So we'll draw it again. Now let's see what happens if we go to the calculate menu, hit number 7, And then let's say we're going to go from -1, like this. And let's say we're going to go all the way up to +1. So we're going to go from a lower bound here all the way up to an upper bound up here. What do you think will happen? Let's hit enter. It's going to shade everything, but it's going to give us an area of 0. And that doesn't look like it's possible. But what's happening here is the calculator is counting this area as positive area because it's above the axis, and that was 0.25. And it's calculating this area as negative area because it's below the axis, as it was -0.25. And when it does the total area, everything is added together, so the answer is 0. And this is not a quirk of the calculator. This is actually how calculus works. If you take this function and find the integral and evaluate it from -1 to +1, you'll find an answer of 0. And that's just the way the integral works. So anytime you have shading that occurs with something below the axis and something above the axis, the area that's below the axis is basically taking away from the area that's above the axis. And if we go, we'll do it one last time. Let's clear this here. We'll get a little bit of lesson in calculus here. Let's go to the calculate menu and let's go to number 7. Now instead of -1, let's do -1.5. That's the lower bound. So we'll be over here, and instead of, well, we'll keep it at +1 actually. That's what I'm trying to do. We'll keep it at +1. So we'll calculate the area from here, all this here, all the way up to +1. So it'll shade it just like we might guess, and it's going to shade all the way down here and all the way up here. And notice the answer is negative. That's because in this case, I have more negative area than I have positive area. So this is a number, and when you add it to this number over here, the answer you get is -1.016. So this is the total area, counting this as negative and counting this as positive. And this, again, is not a quirk of the calculator. This is exactly how calculus works when you do these integrals. So you've learned how to do basic integration in this calculator. It's a nice handy feature. If you're, number one, if you're in calculus, you can check your definite integrals. But also, if you're just in algebra or something like that and you want to calculate the surface area of some weird shape, you can find a function for that shape, and then this calculator will let you find the surface area by doing it this way. So it's a good feature. You'll definitely use it on your exams. Play around with it. It's fun. You can see nice little shading. You understand intuitively what's going on, and it can save you a tremendous amount of time.